Listen, I'm not personally a fan of the Charlotte Hornets, so maybe I'm a little off on this. But if I was a Hornets fan, I would call to carpet bomb the entire city of Charlotte just so the GM Jeff Peterson could never make another decision ever again. What are they doing? I'm no basketball genius or anything, but I can't really track their thinking over the past few days. I think it was pretty consensus that if the Hornets were able to go into next year with their core group of guys from this past year, they might actually be able to make it out of the play-ins and get to the first round. Maybe not even have to play in the play-ins to begin with. They had a young, exciting, interesting team for the first time in what feels like forever, and I guess that's what made them go, guys, we just had a winning season. Oh shit! Dude, shut it down! Shut it down! Fuck, how did we let this happen? Shut it down! Blow the roster up! Blow it up! Get him out! Get him out! Like, listen, do I think this team, as it was, could have won a championship? No. Hell no. No, absolutely not. But they needed another season with this group to make it to the playoffs, where their weaknesses could get exploited, and allow them to understand themselves better. And then they could make the moves that they needed to from there. Especially because it feels like this was done with no planning. Getting rid of two players that had some of their healthiest seasons yet, just because they had their healthiest seasons yet, and were trying to see what they could get for them at the time. Is LaMelo Ball in his current state a championship-ready player? No. He's not super efficient and has bad shot selection. Not to mention defensively, he's not great. But you know what he can do? Initiate an offense. Like nobody's business. Is he on Trae Young level or prime Chris Paul? No. But he was the engine to that Charlotte offense. I said in a video a little bit ago that I believed Calm brought this team to life the most with how good of a season he had. The historic season he had. But guess what? He would not have had that season without LaMelo Ball. This team does not make the play-ins without LaMelo. Colin would have still had an amazing season. He would have. But who knows if it would have been as historic if it wasn't for LaMelo Ball. He makes his team better despite his shot selection and defense. But that's where this team is at right now. And that's okay, no one expects them to win it all next year. But you got rid of your best playmaker and Josh Green for Naz Reid and a first. A bunch of pick swaps, but like those pick swaps are just, they're whatever. They're not real pick swaps. They're not interesting at all. And you didn't even replace that role with who you drafted. And I like who they drafted, but you threw away the engine just to bring in a bumper. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the creativity is gone. And I love Kobe White. We know I love Kobe White on this channel. We appreciate Kobe White here. But he's not the replacement in this case. And don't get me started on the Miles Bridges trade. Because even though I think Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal are good players, they are, it feels like they did this on top of the LaMelo trade, and in my mind, clearly made a hole in their team, which needs to be filled with a big signing. But if they don't do that big signing, it's going to be incredibly disappointing and really confusing. Now listen, I understand Miles Bridges is Miles Bridges, and I don't think this trade is as atrocious as the LaMelo trade. I think the LaMelo trade was fucking stupid, I'm going to be honest. At least for now. 2 years down the road, I think it'd be fine. Right now, I don't think that was a good idea. But, you know, Miles Bridges can leave. I don't think Charlotte fans are that sad to see him go, given the kind of person he is. And they did get two good players. They got two good players. And the other thing is they freed up some cap space. But are they going to do something good with that cap space? They got a 2033 first-round pick for Miles Bridges. That is a fucking middle schooler. Bro, who are their scouts? Like, I don't understand these trades collectively. They feel odd and kind of out of place. Yeah, I understand Miles Bridges a little bit. And they got, I would say, better value for Miles Bridges, to be honest, than they did for LaMelo. I really think LaMelo was undervalued in that. I know there's pick swaps, there's a ton of them, but like, I don't value those pick swaps very highly. And it's not like, oh, LaMelo's an all-star level player, he should be traded for this, and this. It's more of, he is this important to this team in particular. You should have gotten more for him, or you shouldn't have traded him at all. And just this, along with the Miles Bridges, and while I think the three players they got will contribute to the team, and I do think they are all good players, I think for this team, for this year, it was not the right move to make. You make this next year, or the year after you've been further in the playoffs, you've completely exhausted this core, and then you move on, and then you really put the pieces together. I feel like this was rushed. I feel like they're not going to be as good next year, and I think it's kind of unfortunate. I do. I think it's unfortunate. The Hornets genuinely just tanked their team chemistry by like 50%. And this team basically ran on the power of fucking friendship. So I don't know what their plan is. Why did they think this was a good idea? I hope they make me eat my words. I do. Because I was really excited to watch the Hornets next year. But now I'm looking at a roster that is just worse than it was last year, with no real future vision that I can see. But who knows? Maybe they have something in the works that nobody's aware of, and they're just real secretive about. Maybe they found a way to de-age Michael Jordan to his prime and plan for him to come out of retirement and play for them next season, because that is the only thing I can think of that would justify these moves. I don't understand it. And Naz Reid is a good player. Grayson Allen, O'Neal, they're good, they're solid players, but they just wrong place, wrong time for them, man. I don't understand it. But maybe you guys understand it better than me, so let me know what you guys think.